Okie dokie. Hello, did you get it working?
Yes, I think I did. At
Nice.
least I can see now. At first, I thought it was just the camera, maybe because this camera is old. I think I got it when I first started here. So, what's up?
Yeah. I don't know. I guess all the consortia people are busy today. I don't know.
I guess I don't know. I didn't hear from anybody. Nobody added anything to the agenda. How's it going down there?
Nah, fine. I'm getting ready for the upgrade. I have a training tomorrow that I'm doing for our people, and we're upgrading next week. And I also have to do a data pull for our migration next week.
Oh, who's migrating in?
Allen Community College, the community college in town here.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm looking at my Koha right now. I had to restart this computer like 4 times. Uh, but my computer now says the 8th we will update. So that's Saturday night after after 10.
Ours is Wednesday night, next Wednesday.
There really aren't a lot of significant changes that are going to affect us.
No, I've got weird stuff going on with like the data tables and the column configurations. Like my holds queue doesn't work, and I found a bug that Christy put in about it.
So what's it doing?
Mm. Like if I try to hide a column, it doesn't work in the configuration settings.
Oh,
And then on the checkout screen, the columns are weird. Like trying to have one pulled up here. Uh, I'll show you.
cool.
But like, and I think I saw this on one of the Monday Minutes videos. There's was like this too, where it's got the number and the previous checkouts here, like it's not doing the row grouping right. And then over here, it's got the expert column, which I don't think that usually shows. But I've got the configuration set to hide some stuff, I think. Yeah. So I told it to hide the record type, and it's still showing up in the column. It's like it's not registering the settings at all.
I just pulled mine up and it looks like it's doing the exact same thing. I'm pretty sure.
I tried taking out all my jQuery, and I don't think that's like that didn't affect it at all. But it's not doing it on master from what I or main. I'll always call it master. Can't get out of that habit. Um,
Yeah, I've got mine isn't hiding the.
I wonder actually, maybe it only shows if there's more than one. That export column is there on when I was looking at main, but maybe it is not working there either.
Trying to see what I've got set as hidden by default. Um, Okay, I've got my column configuration set up so that it should hide record type by default. And when I reload the page, there's record level item type next to item type. So it's not.
Yeah, I guess it is happening on main too, because I just did it over here on on my dev box, and I've got record level item type in the column there, but the configuration says it should be hidden by default. So I wonder if there's a bug or something. I don't know.
So I wonder what other ones are broken.
So far, for me, it's the holds queue, and it's like both the tables on the circulation account, the one on the details page and the one on the checkouts page. It didn't look like it was affecting the items table. I thought I found a bug that said something about,
It'd be nice if the bugs had a standard vocabulary. If Bugzilla had authority control of some sort.
yeah, that would be nice.
I always try to include the breadcrumbs and the whatever page it is, like I'm right now on like request.pl or whatever.
Hmm. Yeah.
That way, you can almost kind of sort of, find your way back to it.
All right. Here's one that talks about conflicting settings. That's not fixed yet, but it says it'll be fixed in 24/11. And this is the one that I was looking at earlier, which talked about like if the column's empty or something, then it messes up the indexing and then things break. But that one
The
supposedly is
column.
fixed.
So does it happen on the holds table is what I'm looking at right now. So if I try to hide call number on the holds table, does it stay hidden? Wish I could remember which patron I just placed this hold on. There it is. Yeah, if I try to hide the call number column on holds ST, that doesn't, that's not hidden either.
Hi, Juliet.
I,
We didn't have a big turnout today, so we're just talking about weird stuff we're seeing in the upgrade.
oh, okay. I've
Are-
been playing around with the intranet main user block because now you can do that by library. And it keeps giving me trouble because I was trying to put my buttons horizontal and it wants to wrap them. But then if I tell it to no wrap, then it carries off on a bigger screen. And so I'm just like, I need to set it aside for a while.
Okay, I think I see what's going on. So let me share my screen.
Okay. Did you early adopt or no? You're just doing it on your test server?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've got, let's see, where's issues? Issues is under circulation, right?
Yeah, I
Or
think
is it
so.
under, there it is. So issues table record type is hidden by default. And if I go over here to columns, it's checked. If I uncheck it and then reload, then it's hidden. So did was there a feature added where when you'd make a change here, it stays for the session?
Yeah, if you go back to the settings, there's like a checkbox at the bottom of the underneath the table of um, the configuration settings, sorry.
Where?
Like go back to configure, like click the configure button on this table. Yeah, and that'll take you over to the table settings. And then like below this table of checkboxes, the save configuration state on that page. So I think it's like conflicting maybe. And that's
Yeah,
what that
that's,
bug was.
I wonder what happens if I log out. I close all of my tabs and go mess around over here. So I'm wondering, I didn't have that turned off by default. And so when I changed the configure box, so let's find that patron again. I think it was this one. Yeah, now it's not there.
So,
So if you,
hmm,
so there's a conflict between what's checked when, I bet that's what's causing some of the conflicts is if you go in and you make changes during a session, it updates the table configuration, but it doesn't update what's selected here. And it's saving that from patron to patron, which it probably isn't supposed to be doing.
right. Yeah, because so I opened it up in a private browser and it looks great because I don't have any configuration saved. So that means that all my libraries are gonna have their what's current.
Yeah, I don't like
May
that at all.
does it clear it when you clear your cache? Maybe it'll be a moot point.
Yeah, if it clears when you clear the cache, then that would solve the problem.
I feel like I cleared my cache yesterday though.
I've got
Uh,
mine set to clear every time I turn the computer off, every time I close Firefox.
It
And
looks
I
like
encourage all of my libraries to do that too.
you're, uh,
it looks
we
like the
should.
bug says there was something about it not including the holdings tables in that at the very end.
I don't know. I'm not happy now. I can say that much. So
Which bug?
is this,
Okay,
does this
384.
affect every single column configuration now?
I think, yeah, they added that to most of them. But like, I guess if you uncheck it,
I have it unchecked on, I thought it was unchecked on mine. Because if we go to circulation tables,
so holding stable meaning that's on the catalog page. So
Is
that's
that
the
so
only,
it's a different one?
yeah, that's the only one I noticed that was working the way I wanted it to. Um, this uh this is the bug that I was looking at, Juliet, where it's talking about the conflicting behaviors between the column visibility, and that seems to be what we're running into, where it's like the default is one thing, you change it, your settings override the defaults, something like that.
Oh,
But oh, okay, you're back again. How does this actually work? Is it just storing it as a cookie?
so let me find that same patron. So I think it's this save configuration state on page change. That's what's doing it. And so by unchecking that, that fixed the problem for me. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, where is that being stored? So if we go to holds, and I turn off. I turn off all of those and then reload the page. So where is that being stored?
I think it's in your local storage. Where's that? You go to application, the application tab on there, and then there's this. It's in session storage or local storage. Oh, you don't have that.
I'm using Firefox. I don't see that there. Oh, it's under storage, isn't it? Local
Yeah,
storage.
and then click on. So the data tables stuff is in there.
Okay. And so does that just stay there for the session?
Well, the bug that Juliet linked was it has a bunch of patches, but one of them does say that it clears on logout.
That's what I'm testing right now.
Yeah, there's one patch that's remove local storage on logout.
Now I got to log back into. Incoming message. So yeah, it looks like all that stuff disappears. On log, well, it disappeared on log out on my machine, but my machine also clears the cache every time I shut down Firefox.
Mine doesn't. I guess I can check that. Yeah, it looked like it cleared everything out of there on mine too when I logged out. And then like when I navigate to a page with the table on it, it adds something into the session storage or the local storage at that point.
Yeah, it cleared all out of there. So
So I guess in theory, it's not going to affect my libraries. And it's only, I don't know. It's strange. Like somehow those columns that I didn't want to see got checked in my personal session storage. I don't know. It was just something interesting I came across when I was getting ready to
it
tell people.
makes, you know what, there's some things that I never want them to see.
Right,
And so it's going to be even more important now to go in and where needed, hide them and then say it cannot be toggled.
right. Yeah. Yeah, because we have like the check-in column. Yeah,
Yeah,
you do
we've
too.
always, and so I need to set that to not be revealable. So I'm going to have to take a close look at those. So I'm glad we actually had a meeting so we could talk about this. I almost didn't make it to the meeting, Juliet. I came to log into the meeting and I did a Windows update. I told my computer to
Oh,
do a
no.
Windows update last night when I left. And when I got to the meeting, my webcam and my microphone wouldn't work.
Oh no.
So Jason was in the room alone for himself for about 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's weird. No one else showed up at all. I don't know. I guess
But
everybody's koha-US'd out or something for the week.
well, it's, last month there were a bunch of people here and I forgot because I forgot to send out a reminder. I, kind of forgot that I was the chair of the group. And then this month I sent out one last week and one yesterday and nobody showed up except us. So c'est la vie. So how are things in South Dakota as far as libraries go? Does the state library have a budget?
They're working on it. They told the appropriations committee that they don't want to pass the law that was gonna gut the state library, so they're reworking it. And instead of eliminating 12 positions, they're looking at just eliminating 3. And that
Oh,
they might actually accept the put enough money in the budget so that they can also get the federal funding, which that would also be good.
right. If
So,
if the if the IMLS survives everything else going on. So
right, exactly.
yeah.
I think that's what some of the people are thinking is that that money would be going away anyway, so we're just gonna cut it, but so it's looking a little bit better. Now we're fighting about they want to remove the part of the law that says that librarians are exempt from being prosecuted if they distribute something harmful to minors. And so that's the next fight.
You know, try and get him to take qualified immunity away from police and everybody will freak out. But try and let teachers and librarians and
Right.
the guy at the water department have qualified immunity and we're all screwed.
Yeah. So things are looking a little better. We're doing our annual report. It's going okay. So
Well, cool.
I think we've got all our reports for our library dialed in. I swear it seems like the smaller libraries redo their reports every year. And I don't know
Uh,
why they don't remember and just use the same ones, but
that's all our libraries rely on me to run a lot of those reports for the annual stuff. So
It would probably be a lot easier for them if we did it that way.
We adopted that approach too. I just run everything on January 1st and then like parse it out for them. So
That's nice.
I'm still
Technically,
working.
oh,
Yeah,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
I was gonna say, technically, I'm only employed by Rapid City, not by the consortium. So we kind of, I help them when they need it, but that's, not necessarily my job description.
That was my situation in Idaho too, where I worked for Latah County Library, but I was the go-to person for Koha stuff. And so people would say, how do I find this out? And I said, well, this is the report I use. And
Right.
it can work for you too. And then there would be a flood of questions about, well, what does this mean? And here I just run it for everybody and I give it to them in a spreadsheet that says this column is the answer to question 9A. This is
Nice.
the one for 9B. This is 11C. And then everybody's happy.
yeah, I post each individual libraries as a news item on their individual library news, which is why I was so upset when they changed the categories this year a little bit after I'd already done all that work. So like I put that in a spreadsheet and passive aggressively told them they didn't have to use it if they didn't want to. So so I've got it ready for next year.
Nice.
Yeah, I got everything ready on January 1st. And the state library, the first 2 or 3 years I was here, the state library here produces a document that says this is how to fill it in.
Mm-hmm.
And the first 3 or 4 years I was here, that document came out at the end of December. And this year it wasn't out until like the 3rd or the 4th of January. So I didn't even know I just based it entirely off of last year's data.
Yeah, same. And the way they changed the categories, it didn't really matter. Like it's for state stuff, like not federal level stuff. It was for their own curiosity, but it was just upsetting to me because like you're changing from how you've done it for so long to these different ways. So now you can't compare that data anymore backwards because it's just different. So I don't know.
This is
It's
why I run all these reports all the time and then save the data as spreadsheets. Every month I run these reports and I save the data as spreadsheets because I get these, one time I had a call from our Eudora library saying, we want to know all of our circulation by zip code back to 2000. And then I had to say, okay, well, number one, we only keep data like that for the previous 13 months. Number two, you joined the consortium in 2010. So we don't even have data older than that. And three, this is not data that I keep. But if you're interested in it, I can start keeping it. And so that report just runs on the first of the month. And I dump it in a spreadsheet and it's on GitHub and they can go get it if they want it. I mean, so that report doesn't take very long, but some of the others, I try to get them organized so that on the first of the year, I'm just running the reports for December, and then the spreadsheet is building the answers to the questions that I'm expecting. And so then it's really easy. And as opposed to running, that was what my predecessor would do, was run a report that says, tell me all of this data, go into Koha and find all this data from January 1st to December 31st. And I don't like doing it that way because for all we know, there was an update that ruined all that data. So
That's fair. That's
yeah.
my strat is still to just run the annual and then roll with it. So
We do monthly reports on a lot of things and put it in a spreadsheet and then have it at the end, which is nice.
my libraries run it monthly, so generally they're fact checking me on the big numbers. And usually it's Iola that's telling me that it's wrong, and then we backtrack from there.
That's I just got everything set up, but we lost a library a little over a year ago. It was a school library that the school closed. The school district closed that building. And so I had to take that school out of all of my spreadsheets starting this year. And that's been kind of a pain in the ass. And then I got an email yesterday from Winchester or from Richmond saying all of our numbers are wrong. There's something wrong here on two of the spreadsheets. So I got to go back and fix those now. So I'm still not done with January statistics.
Yeah.
I have all the raw data. I just need to get the final spreadsheet prettied up and accurate. There's probably somewhere in there I left Wetmore Academic Center. It was a K through 12 school with, I think when they closed, they had gotten down to like less than 100 students, which is why they closed. Like less than 10 students per grade.
Yeah, we've got some of those still.
Yeah. Well, the school district has, has one town that has an elementary, a middle school, and a high school, and then another town that has a K through 12 school. And those two towns are doing fine, but Wetmore is just, the population keeps sinking. The town was devastated when they lost the school because that was like the only full-time employment in town was teacher. Now I don't think they have any. I think it might be teacher and working at the post office were the only full-time jobs. And so God knows what will happen to their post office. Well, this is a quick meeting. See, we're almost out of time.
I was trying to think if there was anything else I came across that I was confused or concerned about when I was prepping for this upgrade thing.
Are you guys gonna use the preferred name field?
You have to.
We're gonna
Like
hide it.
it's the default though.
But if you hide it, it'll just copy the first name into the preferred name and leave it that way.
I
Yeah.
guess. That one worried me a little bit too.
Because it's not communicating with Aspen the way we want it to, so we're gonna wait.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Aspen says, and you would have to work around and put their preferred name in the first name field and switch it because it's gonna pull from the first name field. So
Are there any plans to?
I'm not sure. I don't do a lot of the Aspen stuff, so
Okay.
I would assume so. It works for Evergreen, so I don't know how Evergreen does it with Aspen.
I wonder if there's an API endpoint that's been built for that yet.
Maybe.
I bet that's the problem. I bet that's the reason that it isn't done yet is because there isn't a way. I'm trying to look up the REST API. Oh, and I guess I need it on the test system. So let's do that.
I guess I hadn't thought about it too much. Because first name is our required field, so I figured people would just be putting in the first name and then they could use the preferred name if they wanted to put in a different name there.
I guess I can't get the API on my test server. I wonder why not. No, I get a 403 error.
Uh, those darn 403 errors. Keeping us safe and annoying and confusing our patrons.
Yeah, if there isn't an API endpoint in Koha, then Aspen can't get the data from Koha. So that's when Christopher and I were talking about something, and I said that's going to be an issue now for everything that he and I want to do in the OPAC. Is the first question is going to be, is there an API?
It does show preferred name in that list patrons call.
So they might just need to build
The Aspen
it
end of
out.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, if Aspen doesn't know how to, that's the first thing that has to happen is there has to be an API endpoint in Koha, and then somebody has to develop Aspen to talk to that API endpoint. So my guess is that it's probably in the works, but I'd have to log into Jira to figure that out. So since you're here, Juliet, I can ask you, are you going to go to the MPLA North Dakota, South Dakota conference in Grand Forks?
Maybe, probably not.
Oh, okay.
I've gone to SDLA like every year for the last like 4 years because I was on a committee. And so I'm kind of been taking a break from that and letting other people go. So
Right. Okay. Well, I haven't talked to George yet, but when I saw him last year at MPLA, he was hoping for somebody to do, he was hoping for some Koha presentations. So I'm going to try and talk to him and figure something out.
I had a library from the east side of the state contact me about Koha, wanting to know about our experience. So we could be getting more South Dakota libraries on it. That would be cool.
It'd be a cost saver if they, like I said, what George was telling me is that he was hoping to do something like what Wyoming has, where there's a statewide Koha catalog for all the
Yeah.
libraries. Um, so So I thought I'd ask if you were going to be there. I'm also going to talk to Ben at Fargo and see if he's going to be there. Maybe we can do a joint presentation. You're not going to the South Dakota and North Dakota Library Association conference, are you, Jason?
No, I'm trying to figure out how I can get to Rhode Island and New Zealand.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, might be able to make it work with my
the
budget.
really Sharon's going to pay for that?
Yeah.
That's kind of
Well,
cool.
Roger was gonna let me go in 2020. Like
Oh,
it was on track and then the pandemic hit. So now I'm expecting well, our like airplanes are falling out of the sky. So I can take responsibility for that, I guess. So I'm a little weary of booking any sort of travel right now, but yeah, I think I'm gonna get to go to both, hopefully.
the Koha Charitable Foundation is working towards being organized under the Open Library Foundation,
Oh
and
yeah, I
their
was gonna ask about
conference,
WolfCon. Are you gonna go to that since it's in Kansas City?
yeah, I mean, it's like 45 minutes away. So I'll probably go to that. I don't know if there'll be any Koha presentations because we're still working on finishing the process of joining the OLF to begin with. But that's where the Koha Foundation Steering Committee is headed, is towards joining the OLF. So
Yeah, I saw that come across. Uh, might be able to go to that one too. I don't know.
that one's pretty close. My plan is to just go home every night, not to.
Yeah,
I'm not
I
going
could
to
always
get
go to
a
a couple
hotel
like
room
a
in
day or
Kansas
two.
City.
Yeah. No, but yeah, for New Zealand, Lizette was putting in a proposal to talk about baby devs, and I told her I'd do a joint presentation with her if she gets in on that, if I can
If
go.
if you do a presentation, you kind of got to go.
Right. That's why I didn't want to put in a presentation myself because I was afraid something would derail it, like geopolitical, if not. Yeah. So, but yeah, we'll see.
We'll see if we start a war with New Zealand or not.
Uh, or they won't let us in. I was told it would be more likely that they wouldn't let us out. So I don't know.
Well, I wonder if Joe Ransom will be there.
I don't know. From the initial announcement, it sounds like it's going to be a big party. So
That's yeah. I don't think I could go without pissing off my wife. Hey, honey, I'm going to New Zealand. I'll be back in a couple weeks. I'm already doing that with Rhode Island, and I'm going to be pretty conferenced out because I'm planning on going to the Koha conference in Rhode Island, and then WolfCon is in September also. And then I'm going to be on a panel at AspenCon, and then there'll be KLA, and it seems like something else is happening.
That MPLA thing,
Oh,
you
that's it.
mentioned.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so two of those are in October, and the other four are in, or two of those are in September, and the other four are in October. So I think I'm going to be like fed up. So I'm planning, well, I guess I was going to say I'm planning on driving to Aspen Con, but you're not using it, so I guess there's no need to give you a ride.
No, I haven't had communication with Ashley at CKLS yet. Have you? I
She
think
was in the room for like
she
10
popped in for a
seconds.
second. Yeah. Oh, maybe we can get her to come to the kegger in May, because they're on Aspen, so that might be a more viable
Oh,
uh
okay.
thing.
Right.
You know. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to talk to her. I told Gail to reach out if they need us to like go through stuff or do any sort of mentoring or anything.
I did a lot of that with Margie right before she quit. She actually came to my house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she was in town for something at KU, and so she came to my house and I did some training there. It was when we were having the foundation repaired, so I had to be at home. She
I
wanted to
see.
come and have me show her a couple of things, and I said, I'm not going to be at the office that day. So,
I think I've got to run. So it was nice dropping it.
Yes,
we'll
thank
see
you
you
for
next
coming.
time.
Yep.
I should probably hop off too.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of stuff to do today. It seems like I was going to ask you. Oh, so I didn't see an email. Is there going to be a kegger? Is there a schedule for having that in May, actually?
Yeah, Sandy sent something
Huh.
because when was that?
I saw an email from her asking, okay, so she,
Yeah, that was back in beginning of February. She said May 9th
and she
is
didn't send that to the list. She just sent it to us.
right.
Maybe we should make sure that gets to the list.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. You might check and see who from like is Sandy and are
I
Sandy and
think
Amber
she
and everybody on
is.
there.
I'll
Okay.
double check, but I'll definitely double check and make sure she's on there. I'll do that right now before I go to lunch. So, well,
Okay.
see you next time.
Yep.
If
Thanks.
my computer doesn't crap out again.
Fingers crossed. No more Windows updates.